It's time for the Matt Lecroy Show on Fox Sports 1460. Brought to you by the Holiday Inn Middletown. Now with today's show, here's Terry Byrom.
Game 2 of a 4-game series with the Akron Rubber Ducks, the first place Akron Rubber Ducks, and I'm here with Matt Lecroy. And Matt, before we talk about last night's game, a few thoughts. One thing I've been curious about asking you is about the sabermetrics and all of the secondary stats that aren't just the basic. How much do you pay attention to those?
Well, we've, as far as our organization, they wanted us to implement the sabermetric part of our strategy going into the season and going into spring training, because the big league team is heavily relying on those numbers. So we had to implement a defensive program that was put in place in spring training to go over all the shifts and the shades and the way different ways we're going to defend different balls. And then once the season started, they kind of gave us a outline or guide to tell us when to shift and when to shade. They give us all the numbers, all the data that they can possibly come up with through our interns and video guys up in D.C. And so we implemented it in spring training, and now if you come watch us play, you'll see us. We'll shift guys, and then we'll shade guys. So the one thing with the shift is everybody's, except for the first baseman or third baseman's, playing over. And then with the shade, we shade over the shortstop or second baseman, and you got two guys over past second. So, it's worked at times. If you look at all the balls, not all of it works. Some of it would just be normal positioning, but they want us to implement it so when guys do get caught up, they're not caught off guard.
Now, what about on the offensive side? Do you look at? I mean, you're pretty limited with who you can play on a daily basis, but how much does it play into any of your thinking, and then at the levels above, including in the big leagues?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we look at numbers versus lefty and versus righty, the way we maybe can give guys days off. And then the big thing with like lefties, a lot of times you stack your lineup with righties. Well, if you look at the numbers, you're almost better to play all lefties with certain guys. So, it's just a thing where I sit with Ruppy and we go over ways to give guys days off. But like you said, my hands are tied with who we play. But we do look at some of the things. We look at the last 10 games, how hot the opponents are, and see who we may pitch around or who we go after.
It seems like, a lot of those numbers are used more during trade time or the off season with free agents, where it gives a better picture to who that player is.
Yeah, I think from being on the big league staff the last 2 years, when we try to go for free agents. The front office, they look at a lot more things than we actually look at, and ultimately they make the decisions. So they have certain factors that goes into who would be a perfect fit for us. Field staff guys, we look more into the character of a person, how he fits in with us team wise. But ultimately, they're going to come up with the players that they want us to have.
All right. Now, last night, Lucas Giolito. I think maybe I've said this the last couple times he's pitched, but that's the best outing he's had yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's finally starting to get that fastball command, the angle, the down angle, and he did a really nice job. I mean, he mixed it up, plus breaking ball, plus change up. But I'm more impressed with the way he's starting to command the fastball, because that sets up everything else for him. And after that one inning where we had some defensive letdowns, he settled down and kept us in it. And Kesey got the big home run, and Glover closed it out. So it was a good win that we really needed.
Well, you gave the quote last night to Mick Reinhardt after the game about Kevin Keyes, and now that's 2 home runs in the last 4 games, and what a difference that is when you have a guy up there that can drive in 2 runs with 1 swing. Yeah,
I mean, it's nice to have a guy, if they make a mistake, he's got a chance to put it out of the park and maybe have a couple on base at a time. But he gives us a little length. For our lineup, for him to hit 6 for us is pretty good. And but we just need 2 guys at the top. If we get those 2 guys at the top going, we can put some pressure on the defense and hopefully score a lot of runs.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Got it.